talking about 5 things I dislike about this Buick, which there's a lot. First, to start off, the fuel economy. So before I started putting mods on it, it got around 10 in the city, and when you romp on it, you're getting like 5 to 8. It's bad. Every other day I was going to the gas station, and with California gas prices, it gets expensive. It didn't help that I put cam and pistons and headers on it, so I don't even know what it is now. I'm scared to even calculate it.
Yeah, and not to mention it's running so rich that it literally spits fuel out of the exhaust pipes, so that's not exactly helping your gas mileage either.
No, the carburetor definitely needs adjustment, but once I get it done, it should be decent.
I wouldn't even say decent. It'll be better.
It's terrible. It's terrible. And when you play with it,
even worse.
Yeah, don't even count it. The second thing I dislike about this car is parts availability. So if I was to buy an old Camaro, for example, I could get a parts catalog with every single part I would need to build one of these without even having one. Like I could buy a frame, all the attachments, brake lines, etc. For this car, a lot of the parts just don't exist anymore. For example, the B-pillar trim. So this right here just covers it. It's a little cover that you can pull out, and mine are crusty and they're falling apart, and they don't fit very well at all. That being said, I've been looking for them, I can't find them. Another example is the window chrome. So I spent 3 months trying to find this piece of chrome right here. It bolts in the trunk. I found one in a junkyard.
Out here, actually.
Out here.
Even though we bought it when we were living in California.
I paid $150 for it, and on the way out here, obviously, as you guys know, it broke off. So now I have to do that search all over again. I can't just go on the internet and buy another one.
Yeah.
Because I can't guarantee it'll fit, and they had different body styles of rear window for this car. So if I did find one online, I can't guarantee that it was for this model. Along with the antenna and this little teardrop thing. There was a teardrop piece of chrome that went around here. You can kind of still see the outline for it. But when the previous owner got in the accident, that disappeared and the antenna was bent. It still worked though. I have to give Buick credit on that because it was crooked bad. I was actually able to find the wheel chrome, but not online.
Yep.
It was actually the same junkyard that I found this piece in, but it's in the trunk right now.
It's about the only place to find parts for this car is off of old cars in junkyards.
Yeah, so that being said, if I don't find a clean one in the junkyard and a piece goes missing,
you're pretty screwed.
I'm pretty screwed. I can't really do anything about it. There are some pieces that I can find for this car, like door lock handles, steering wheels, shifters, gauges, because this gauge cluster was shared between the Electra, the Riviera, and the Wildcat. So they all had similar dashes. I'm not too sure about the Riviera because they were top of the line luxury back then. Along with these beautiful speed slats. Don't know much about them, but I can find those because they were also
called fake vents where I'm from, brother.
Fake vents. That's the way to put it. Overall, I can't find parts for this car. Some things are really hard to find. But then again, it makes owning one of these more of a treasure because every time you need a part, it's a hunt, and that's a whole nother story.
It's either a hunt or it's completely custom.
Yeah. Third thing I really dislike about this car is the turning radius. Because of the length of this car, the turning radius really sucks. So that's full lock. Making U-turns in neighborhoods, it's always a 3-point turn for me. The length of this car makes it really inconvenient. If the car was as short as the S2000, that would be more than enough steering angle. Along with that, we have the Fitment. When these tires are straight, they're tucked in probably about 2.5, 3 inches from the wheel well.
I mean, you've got almost UFO fitment.
Yeah, almost. Now, I've been looking for spacers for this car to remedy that.
But the parts availability strikes again.
Yep, they don't exist. Because, I mean, granted, the 5x5 lug pattern exists. The thing that doesn't exist is this hub bore. Because these wheels are hub-centric, not lug-centric, it needs to fit precisely around the hub. So, in order for me to put spacers on this car, I have to get them custom made, which is expensive, as you would imagine. Fourth thing I dislike about this car is that it's a 4-door sedan, and it's as long as a modern truck is. Along with it being as long as a truck, it also weighs just as much as one. Without me in the car, this thing weighs 4,000 pounds flat. 4,000 wet, 3,900 dry. Which still, that's That's a lot of weight, but it's all solid metal.
I can definitely say the same about, oh wait, never mind.
And with all that weight and a stock style suspension comes lots of body roll.
If you turn completely tight with that side pipe there.
And weight in it, it scrapes.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't scrape the bottom, it scrapes the side of the pipe because the car rose like a boat. Granted, I have gotten used to the length of this car, so I can maneuver it pretty well considering its girth.
It's over 19 feet long and like 6.5, 7 feet wide.
So just for a comparison, this car is longer than my mom's 2018 Ram EcoDiesel by about 5 or 6 inches or something like that, but it sticks out. And part of that is this, the trunk space.
That wagon.
The trunk space, as far as the storage standpoint, is awesome. I can fit a bunch of crap back here. But she got a booty, I tell you what. The fifth thing I dislike about this car is the bench seat. Now, there's an adjuster handle over here that I pull forward and I can adjust the seat forward and backward. But when I pull that handle while I'm sitting here, it just moves one side of it. So it ends up getting crooked and it gets stuck and it's inconvenient. So in order to adjust the seat, I have to sit in the middle and then pull it and then adjust it. That being said, I wanted a floor shifter in this car. So the seat is stuck all the way back. I cannot move the seat up, not even an inch, because that's first. And the actual housing for the shifter is literally the width of my finger away from the seat. It's like right there. And if I put the shifter any farther forward, my hand would be literally in the dash. I have to kind of straddle my hand over it to get the lever, because you can see right there, there's not a lot of room.
As well as the fact that, like the S2K, you are cup holderless in this.
Yes, this thing is supposed to drop down, which because the previous owner mounted this here, I can't. That being said, there is a small cup holder in here, but it has no barriers on the sides. It's just a little circle indented into the metal. So if you try to drive with a cup in that, as soon as you take a corner with the body roll, it's on your floor.
We really got 2 cars and 0 cup holders.
The way it is. So the first thing I love about this car, although it kind of contradicts the length portion of it, is storage in this car. Because the interior is so big, I can fit a lot of stuff in the back seat. There's a lot of room back here, along with the trunk. So right now, the trunk is totally full of parts because I just moved out here and I don't have any storage yet. So the trunk is pretty full. When the trunk is empty, I can lay in here, head over here, feet over there, and they don't touch either side. And I'm 6'2". So this is a big trunk. And if it's empty, you could fit probably 5 adult bodies in it and around 12 children. Having a trunk this big is really helpful for getting into per person admission places, because you can say, hey, hop in the trunk. I know it sounds like I'm gonna murder you, but trust me, that's not the case. The second thing I absolutely love about this car is the sound, but there's also a downside to that. When the car is on, I can't hear Josh's car, and if anyone tries talking to me from outside the car when I'm in the car, I can't hear a damn thing.
Well, you can't hear anything as is. It doesn't even matter if it's a car like mine. You could have a nasty cammed Camaro and it's still gonna be quieter than this thing.
Yeah, it's a little obnoxious, but I love it. And the Buick 350 firing pattern sounds really unique compared to the Chevy 350 and the Chrysler 383. They all sound vastly different from each other. Sounds amazing, doesn't it? Come on now. The third thing I love about this car is the look and feel of when you're driving. I love the fact that there's not a B-pillar in this car, and I think it makes it. And with the addition of this trim piece right here, I get little to no wind noise, like that weird flapping from like a regular car window when it's down. It's very, very smooth to drive with the windows down. It's kind of a necessity, because my AC doesn't work. Who could have guessed? Another thing that I love about this car is the body lines. Not many cars from the late 60s look good in a four-door rendition. For example, the 1970 Oldsmobile Cutlass four-door looks like the engineers just said, you know what? Let's just chop a hole in the regular door and add a really small one so it looks like we're driving a clown car. Personally. Now,
God, this thing does look good.
This trim piece right here, I absolutely love because it gives the top half and the bottom half a different definition. It doesn't look like a barge with that there. It looks like it's nicely defined. It gives it a nice, smooth look. Along with the body lines is the tail lights. In my opinion, the 69 LeSabre lights look better than the Electra or the Riviera for one reason. The Electra looks chunky. It looks like they added so much weight to it because on this car, the bumper comes down and then it cuts sharply in and then stops. The Electra bumper comes out and it goes flat and it goes way down and then it cuts under. And I feel like this gives it a sport aspect even though it's not a muscle car at all. It's a family sedan. I was looking at the build sheets and this car has the A9 option, which is the LeSabre 400, the 350 with a 4-barrel carburetor and a turbo 400 transmission. The other ones either have a turbo 350 transmission or the 3-speed stick. Now, the turbo 350 is roughly the same, but the turbo 400 can take a lot more power. They're known to hold up a little longer, which I really enjoy. And I mean, who doesn't like having this here? The fourth thing I really love about this car is this beautiful painted engine bay and the ease of maintenance. If I need to get a hold of anything on this vehicle, it's a hand length away. I need to pull the spark plug wires, spark plugs, okay, fine. If I need to get a hold of the fan pulley, just walk around front, I can touch it with my hand, I can get wrenches on it and everything. I don't have to remove anything. Same with the AC and alternator. All I gotta do is take this bracket off and I'm there. I don't have to take off the intake or the intake manifold or anything like that on some other cars. If I need to check my gabagoo, I just pull this up, it's right there.
Very accessible motor, very easy to work on, and overall maintenance and upgrades for this car are just generally pretty easy.
The other thing that I really like about this car is that any millennial couldn't steal it. They couldn't, and if they did, they'd run out of gas about a block away, and then they go,
Yeah, a quarter tank gets you about a block in this car.
roughly. But then they take it to the gas station, and they go, wait, where's the filler tank? It's not on top, it's not on the quarter panel. Where is it?
On the side.
A lot of you older viewers will know. It's behind the gas tank, which is really nice. And then you just take the cap and you set it in here. That hook there holds the spring for the license plate flapper. You set it in there like that and let go, and it holds it up for you. And then you just stick the pump in there and go about your business. Now, I had to get a replacement one of these, which you can find almost anywhere. With that being said, it's just really nice, and everyone gives you looks at the gas station if they don't know where the car came from or where it is originally. So that was 5 things I love and 5 things I hate about the 1969 Buick LeSabre. Now, same thing with Josh's car. Is this a good daily driver? Now, if any of my high school classmates are watching this, they will laugh, but if you did the right modifications to this car, it would be a phenomenal daily driver. If I put an LS in it with a 4L60E and a 10-bolt, it would be almost indestructible. You could drive it anywhere. It has space for 5 of your friends and 5 friends in the trunk as well. So 10 people if you swing that way.
So basically what I heard is that you have to take every single drivetrain component out of this car and replace it with something modern for it to be decent as a daily.
Yes. Yes, I did. But that being said, for a classic car, if it was left stock, it would get you around town. It would do fine. It just lacks in a lot of places. It's like a Sunday church car, not something you take your kids to school in every day, although they would probably love it. This has been another episode of Head Ass Garage. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next one.